everyone, I'm Natalia Bilbao, and here's what's happening in LA this week. Councilmember Paul Krikorian was on hand to swing the doors open to the third tiny home village in Council District 2. Mayor Eric Garcetti praised the new interim housing as a small but positive indication that we are gaining ground on the homeless crisis.
I'm just so thrilled that we have now opened our third tiny home village in my district, the fifth bridge housing facility overall that we've opened in the last year and a half. And by opening this facility, we now have enough capacity to serve every single person who was living unsheltered on the streets as of the time of the last homeless count.
Special thanks to Councilman Paul Krikorian, Mayor Eric Garcetti, that the City of Los Angeles has funded. They designed and they built this site. It's going to be a refuge for 150 people.
We are gaining ground on this fight to end homelessness. I know if you walk the streets of LA or drive them, you might not feel that day to day, but for those of us who it's our business to see tomorrow, we can see and feel that tomorrow. It's arriving now.
Vivienda permanente es lo que necesitamos. Vivienda es lo que va a resolver esta crisis de indigencia, pero necesitamos tener lugares como esto para que puedan empezar en ese trayectorio.
This is the step one, but the hard step really begins with Ken and his team as they occupy this site and bring homes for 150 new people.
It was easy for us to support the efforts of the City of Los Angeles. We should not, as a Parks Department, be turning our blind eye to the problems that face the entire city. We need to be part of the solution.
The tiny homes facility offered me an opportunity to just get my head together. And the beautiful part of it was that I didn't have to get up and go to roll call. I didn't have to, of course there's rules in anything you do, but it allowed me the space and the time to do it at my pace.
As more permanent housing comes available, folks who are right now living under bridges and on sidewalks will have an opportunity to have a safe, secure place to live with a locking door, with air conditioning, with ventilation, with a soft bed, with a place that they can store their items. We're providing all that here. And then this will be the life raft that they need to get off the streets.
The Community Emergency Response Team Program is an all-risk, all-hazard training. Basically, when there is an emergency and the fire department or local police can't come, this training allows everyday citizens to take care of themselves and their neighbors. The training has been around for years, but not a lot of people know about it. Recently, C.E.R.T and the Community Disaster Preparedness Foundation hit the streets to spread the word.
If there is a public emergency, the fire department is not coming. They have to go to the larger areas.
We've gone complacent. If you lose power, your cell phone goes down, most people, I guarantee you, will not know what to do. In the city of Los Angeles, we have this dependency upon the professionals. Professional EMS, 911, police department, fire department. And what will happen after a disaster is they will be completely overwhelmed and immediately unable to fulfill the needs of the community.
What we're doing with this program is using it as an introductory, getting people interested, getting neighborhoods interested, and they can go to those higher levels.
We have learned how to triage. That means that if there were a large public event, we would be able to discern who needs immediate, who can wait, and who's a walking wounded, and who cannot be helped. That's very important. If you have, say, 50, 100 or more injuries, then you need to know who needs help.
We are using people's front lawns to put down a victim, obviously simulated victim, or a gas problem, or an electrical problem, or a water mains problem. These are citizens. They are citizens who are not used to doing search and rescue, but they have to be employed because they are the only bastion we have between us and the problems that occur after an earthquake.
The Red Cross, FEMA, they all say be prepared for at least 1 week to 3 weeks minimum.
With our neighborhood team program, What we're endeavoring to do is to get residents interested by giving them some of the basics of what they get in C.E.R.T. And as they get their skills up to speed, they can eventually move up to that C.E.R.T. level.
We are continuing our coverage of National Preparedness Month with a focus on the family pet. Like any dependent family member, special needs should be accounted for in case of an emergency. Check out this help guide to make sure you are prepared.
September is National Preparedness Month, and so it's really a time that we want to remind pet owners to really prepare for an emergency should they need to evacuate. They have an emergency plan in place that includes their pets. Make sure you're having your harnesses and your pet leashes there right at the door so you can relocate quickly with your pet. Medication, vaccination records, any kind of contact information, pictures of your pet, so that if you need to go, you basically have a go bag. That's either a rolly bag or a backpack that's pretty much ready to go, and you can relocate quickly and safely. I think many times people feel like when they relocate, leaving their pets behind is fine, but in actuality, taking your pet with you is actually one of the safest ways to ensure the safety of your pet.
Make sure your pet is microchipped and has a current LA City license affixed to their collar. A microchip can help reuniting a lost pet if they get out during an emergency. Lost pets tend to be close to where they disappeared from, especially if it's the home. Another thing to note during hot weather season is if you're going to be taking your pet out for a walk, make sure to check the asphalt with the back of your hand. If it's too hot for your hand, it's too hot for their paws. If you notice that your pet is showing discomfort, that may be heat related, making sure that you apply cold, wet towels or ice packs and taking them to the vet immediately.
We actually have information on our website. If you go on our website and go on emergency preparedness, you can actually see all the tips we have in order to prepare for an emergency, the kind of things you should put in an emergency kit, and just really, tips to ensure that your pet is part of your emergency plan.
The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, along with the National Odor Recognition Training and Testing, NORT, hosted a 3-day training session for federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies. The Los Angeles Police Department participated in the training with their bomb detection K9 teams, and Channel 35 was there.
What we've got happening is day 2 of a 3-day training. It's put on by the ATF. It's a national certification. You see multiple organizations, including Los Angeles Police Department, Bomb K9 Unit. We have dogs and handlers that are here going through this training and being certified. It's important that we get this training, this experience, and this opportunity to bring into the city of Los Angeles.
My canine trainers are administering the National Odor Recognition Test to federal, state, and local canine handlers. They're making sure that the dog is proficient on 10 basic explosive odors. Our chemists and bomb technicians look at trends developing throughout the country, and if there's some type of new explosive that seems to be being used in bombings, then we're going to bring that out and add that to our test.
Bueno, esto es bien importante porque ahorita ATF está haciendo esto desde del gobierno. Ellos pueden tener cosas de bombas que los otros no, que han hecho en la ciudad o en el país, ¿verdad? Que no sabemos que ha pasado. So, ellos pueden traer exactamente esa bomba aquí y después a ver si los perros sí entienden que esto es bomba, y si no, lo vamos a entrenar, pero para que ellos saben, esta es una cosa de bomba que tienen que entender.
When a dog is selected to become part of the Los Angeles Police Department, they're brought in and they go through training. They receive a minimal amount of training prior. Once they become part of the Los Angeles Police Department, they receive advanced training. They have to show that they're up for the challenge and the expectations that we have of our canines. Are they able to distinguish between scent? Are they going to, in the field, be able to perform at the level that we expect here in the city of Los Angeles? This is another tool that is available to the Los Angeles Police Department and thus the community within the city of Los Angeles to help keep the community safe and protected.
The offices of Council Member Gil Cedillo and Council Member De Leon were on hand to spearhead a library giveaway. Los Angeles Public Library hosted a school supply giveaway, which included information on all the great programs and services offered to Angelenos. Many programs are geared towards LAUSD students and available at all LAPL locations. Take a look.
We are with the Arroyo Seco Neighborhood Council, and we are at the Back to School event. So we're passing out backpacks, food, school supplies. We're here to pass out information about the resources that the library offers, in addition to some school supplies as well. So the library's recently opened all 72 branches plus a central library. Libraries haven't opened to full in-person resources, but we have a lot of resources that are slowly opening. We want to make sure we take all the preventative caution to keep everybody safe. But we also know that within Los Angeles, there's a disproportionate number of Black and brown families that have limited access to the internet. So our online resources weren't accessible to a lot of people. So we opened our libraries to make them accessible to more people.
Oh, bastante, porque pues ahorita apenas estamos empezando a recuperarnos de la pandemia. Entonces esto es muy bueno, es muy alentador para seguir.
Mire, no nos vamos a desesperar. Hay mucha ayuda, ayuda económica, ayuda para servicios de atención médica mental, ¿verdad? Hay muchos servicios, pero lo más importante es cuidarnos de esta enfermedad. Por favor, tomen la vacuna, por favor, usen su máscara, ¿verdad? Por favor, cuídense, hay vidas de por medio.
We still have a lot of people in need. You know, sometimes people think you come out of these things and there's no people in need, and we still have a lot of people in need. And you know, we've done 2 giveaways in this area this week, and they're all just packed. So it's great to be able to say we had this today.
The Cabrillo Aquarium gets some fancy upgrades. The LA Controller introduces the Latinx Los Angeles map, and the El Grito celebration commemorated 200 years. These stories up next on City Beat.
The Cabrillo Marine Aquarium in San Pedro has been a favorite destination spot for families, students, and tourists for many years. Recently, the Cabrillo Marine Aquarium underwent a remodel both inside and out. These renovations will ensure that every visitor can navigate and explore the aquarium in a more enjoyable, intuitive fashion. Some of the new features include updated signage, an aquatic nursery, and an interactive tide pool exhibit. And there are more improvements and renovations still to come. For more information or to plan your next visit, go to CabrilloMarineAquarium.org. The Los Angeles City Controller Ron Galperin has released a map that spotlights the positive impact the Latino community has made in the city of Los Angeles. The Latin Heritage Month map, called Latinx Los Angeles, arrives just as LA celebrates the culture and contributions of Latino heritage. The map includes 16 locations and highlights the impact Latinos have had in Los Angeles history. The map also is a guide that features places like Olvera Street, Mexican Marketplace, the Walk of Arts and Crafts, and the Chavez Ravine. To check out the Latinx Los Angeles map, go to lacontroller.org. The El Pueblo Historical Monument recently celebrated El Grito, Los Angeles' annual commemoration of Mexican independence at Plaza Kiosco. This event was presented in collaboration with the Consul General of Mexico in Los Angeles. The event was attended by several Los Angeles City Council members, including Council President Nuri Martinez. El Grito is the tradition that marks the battle cry for Mexican independence by a priest in the town of Dolores, Mexico. 2021 commemorates Mexico's 200th anniversary of independence and is recognized worldwide as a celebration of Mexican heritage.
Have you been looking to add a 4-footed addition to your family but haven't found the time to visit your local shelter? Well, we've got you covered. Channel 35 recently visited the East Valley Animal Care Center and met some adorable animals that are available for adoption. See if one of these pets is right for you. Take a look.
Today we're at East Valley Animal Services Center, and we're here to showcase some of the amazing animals we have available to adopt or to foster.
This here is Hector, short for Hector Barbosa. He's one of our favorites here at the shelter. He's a pretty easygoing guy for his size. He's about 5 years old. He knows how to just kind of hang loose and relax when I have him in my office. So I think all around he'd be a great dog for anybody. Here is a bunny rabbit that we have named Fall. Fall came in with another rabbit named Summer, and the two are bonded. Rabbits are required when bonded to be adopted together. Bunny rabbits are very fragile compared to some of our other pets here at the shelter, so they may not be best for people with small children. We have here Eggnog. Eggnog is one of the cats that came in with a microchip, and we made attempts to try and find his owner, but the owner never came forward. Now Eggnog is available for adoption. He's a little bit nervous around the dogs, but when I've had him out in the cat room, he doesn't seem to be fazed by being around other cats. Right here we have Dez, who is 7 years old, and Lil Coda here, who's 13 years old. These guys are best buddies. They were turned in together about a little over a week ago because the owner was having issues with their landlord and couldn't keep the dogs anymore. This here is Punky Brewster. It's a name that we gave her here at the shelter. She's about 2 months old and just a sweet little puppy. We do get puppies in from time to time, so when people are interested, they can always check our website to see what we have. We also have a program called Senior for Seniors, where if you are over the age of 62 and you're interested in adopting one of our animals that is over the age of 7 years old, there's actually a discount involved. So instead of paying $102, you would only be paying $51 for that dog.
Well, you can find more information on these pets or check out more animals that are available for adoption by visiting laanimalservices.com. If you want to see how culturally diverse Los Angeles is, you need look no further than its city council. That is part of the strength of Los Angeles, the respect and recognition of these differences which make us stronger as a collective. Today, Council Member Kevin De Leon shares his political insights and personal pride for the Hispanic community of LA.
This is Los Angeles. We were born at El Pueblo, what was a very small Mexican city, which became the largest city in all of California to the second largest city in all of America. So the very fact that almost half of the population of the city of LA is Latino is quite significant because the contributions have been enormous. The cultural contributions, the artistic contributions, the athletic contributions, the scientific, academic, amazing food. But I can say this with a sense of absolute confidence, being the youngest child of a single immigrant mother, worked her fingers to the bone, cleaning the homes of the wealthy. The biggest contribution is the economic contribution. Without Latinos being an economic pillar of strength for the city of LA, our city simply doesn't function. I represent Ball Heights, which is a historic neighborhood, and I admire the community so much because aside from all the catastrophic consequences of the coronavirus, they've, held their head up high with dignity and with respect. Because it's a Hispanic Heritage Month, the month of September, I send a very strong but very clear special message. We have to get vaccinated, first and foremost. You save your own life, that of your co-workers, family members, or loved ones. We're all Angelinos, or we have to protect each other, defend each other, step up, and back each other up.
The Office of Council Member Gil Cedillo recently teamed up with the Los Angeles Boys and Girls Club to put on a cherished community event. The 5th annual Street Fair and Carnival brought rides, family fun, and the opportunity to get vaccinated. Check this out.
Well, we're having a carnival, and we are partnering with the Boys and Girls Club of Lincoln Heights. And I was invited here to provide COVID-19 screening and vaccinations free.
Gracias a Dios que están dando vacunas para que así el que no se quiere vacunar que ya no siga contagiando al que no la tiene.
I think it's good. Everybody needs a time out, and you know, my son's having fun after being in homeschool, so it's fun. I think it's good.
I surely hope that other people see this and model this. I think it's very important for the community because people are coming out. Some people here this evening may be vaccinated and some may not be vaccinated, and this is a perfect opportunity to provide free services to the community.
It's a good thing to get vaccinated, and I think everybody should do it.
You know that in the Latinx as well as the African American community, we have some of the highest morbidity rates of COVID, and so we're here in Lincoln Heights taking part in this carnival, this community carnival.
It's only September, but the United States Postal Service is staffing up for the holiday season. And they are looking for quite a few good men and women. Take a look.
Today we're having an in-house job fair, and we've invited everybody to come and join our team.
Ahorita estamos contratando 4,000 empleados para que trabajen de carteros o adentro del correo.
We're coming upon our Christmas season, and we need help getting these packages and mail delivered during our holiday season.
I was in unemployment, EDD, and you know, I got to get back to work. You know, my kids are going back to school and all that, and so I believe this is the right time for me to, you know, start looking for a job, employment.
Ahorita estamos contratando unos jóvenes que aguantan afuera del calor porque para cargar correo es el trabajo más difícil en el correo postal.
We're not just looking for carriers, we're also looking for employees in the processing plants. So that would be the clerks and the mail handler employees. That's a 24-hour operation, so they can work day or night.
Right now they're temporary, but they could lead on to permanent. And I'm willing to start at the bottom and see what happens.
Within 2 years, there's going to be retirement benefits, health benefits, you know, leave benefits, and it's a great company to work for. So the website is usps.com/hiring. You can find any job available that's posted at the moment.
It's easy to believe that in our current age of sensitivity to diversity and inclusion, that there would be many firsts still to be accomplished by historically underrepresented groups like women, people of color, and people with disabilities. And yet, the Los Angeles Fire Department continues to do its part to promote inclusion with a new first for the City of Angels. In our featured story this week, Maria Hall-Brown sits down to chat with LA's first female fire marshal, Deputy Chief Kristin Crowley.
I'm delighted to be joined by LAFD Deputy Chief Kristin Crowley. So nice to have you
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
You are the first woman fire marshal for the City of Los Angeles Fire Department. What does that say to other young women?
I think that really says sky's the limit, honestly. If you work hard and you set yourself up for success, you know, try to find some mentors out there, but really be thoughtful and strategic in how you approach your career. Really, the sky's the limit.
One would think that, you know, given everything that you've done and the time period that you've done it, you've had to go through some challenges and hurdles. So what have you faced and how did you face it?
There's always challenges. I think there's challenges for women and men, especially in the fire service. It's a very unique environment. A lot of it lands on whether or not you are capable of doing the job, you have the credibility and the character to do the job. So for me to kind of set myself up for success, but also just to kind of lead the way for men and women on the job, it was like I wanted to make sure that I was literally comfortable in my skin before I moved on. But I also kind of set myself up for once I'm comfortable and I feel like, okay, I understand the job, I can make good decisions, it's time to move. Each step, I wanted to learn a different area of the department so that, again, I could make really good decisions as I moved up the chain of command.
I am going to ask, and it's going to become tiresome, but it's a mantle you're going to have to wear, of being a woman in these first positions. Are you hoping that it'll get to the point in which that isn't even a subject anymore.
I think that's where we want to be in the future, but you know, our reality is a reality, meaning, okay, I'm the first woman in this position, and then you get in the position of like, okay, this is what she brings, this is what this person brings to the table, this is the skill set, the qualifications, the experience that they're bringing. Through my entire career, there's been a lot of firsts in just other positions or just the first at this particular station that might have been the toughest truck house in the city. You know, so I'm used to it at this point, but you're absolutely right. You're spot on. We just as a community want to get to the point where you look at the person for their skill set and what they're bringing to the table, not necessarily about their gender.
Play Loteria Bingo at a West Valley LA Public Library. Groove with the latest installment of LA Made Artist Series, or enjoy a moving public art exhibit in person or online. All this up next on Things to Do.
The Chatsworth branch of the LA Public Library invites kids of all ages to celebrate Latino Heritage Month with a friendly game of Loteria. Loteria, named for the Spanish word meaning lottery, is a traditional Mexico game similar to bingo, but using images on a deck of cards instead of numbered ping pong balls. In Mexico, it is traditional to use small rocks, crown corks, or pinto beans as markers. Spend an afternoon of family fun with prizes, learning about Mexican culture, and be the first to fill up your card and shout, Loteria! Loteria at Chatsworth Branch Library happens Thursday, September 30th, beginning at 3 p.m. For more information, visit lapl.org/events. The Los Angeles Public Library invites you to another great performance featured within their local artist series, LA Made. Banda Las Angelinas is an all-female band that was formed in Los Angeles in March of 2018. These talented women are united by their passion for music. Their common goal is to reach the hearts of as many people as they can, helping the community with their talent. Sinaloa-style banda music is made up of brass, woodwind, and percussion instruments. So see how the ladies take on a genre of music largely dominated by men. Check out LA Made, Banda Las Angelinas, streaming on YouTube and Facebook beginning Wednesday, September 29th. For more information, visit lapl.org/events. The LA Department of Cultural Affairs invites you to check out their exciting public exhibit. Located at La Plaza's historic Paseo Walkway, Transport Pueblos, Los Resilientes is a public art sculpture that explores the difficulties faced by immigrants who leave their homes in hopes of finding a better life in the United States. The sculpture was created by Mexican artist Alfredo Libre Gutierrez. You can enjoy a video on the website as well as viewing the sculpture in person. Don't miss Transport Pueblos, Los Resilientes, happening now at La Plaza's historic Paseo Walkway. For more information, visit lapca.org/exhibition. And that's a look at some things to do.
And that's it for this edition. I'm Natalia Bilbao, and from all of us here at LA This Week, thank you so much for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacityview.org, and we're also on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. See you next time for more LA This Week.